All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started here today. So for those of you maybe watching the recording at home for the first time, I'm Christina. I'm one of the physical therapists here at M3. This is Brett, he's my assistant. And today we're going to be continuing some of our work on the abdominals, and we're going to do a little bit of squatting today as well. So really focusing on getting a good strong core contraction with all of our exercises to support the lumbar spine, to keep it nice and stable. That's our goal, it's what we want. So let's go ahead and start today. We'll do the squats at the end. We'll go ahead and start today on the floor. Okay, so on your back, if you have today like a small ball, you don't have to use a ball. You can use just your hands pretending like you're holding a ball. This doesn't have any weight to it. It's not a medicine ball. So you can just use your hands if you want to, or you can grab a couch pillow or something nearby. But Brett's going to use this ball today. Do you want that, Willow? Okay. Okay, so he's going to lie flat on his back, and I'm going to give him this ball to hold with his hands. So what we're going to start with today, just a simple abdominal contraction. So he's going to go ahead and tighten his core like we've been working so diligently on. So his core is going to be really tight. And what he's going to do is extend both arms up towards the ceiling, straight up high, perfect. Now, keeping his core nice and tight, he's going to bring one leg up to 90 degrees and hold it there. And while he does that, his arms are going to go back towards his head, just like that. Then he'll bring the arms back and switch legs. He'll switch legs, the other leg will come up, arms will go back. This is kind of a warm-up exercise. We're just getting the abs going here before we make it a little more challenging. So we're going to
isn't this like a march?
Yes, it is exactly what the march is. It just adds a little arm movement as well. So when you extend the arms back over the head, you should feel your core tighten a little bit extra. Yeah.
I've just learned so many marches that I can't keep them straight.
There's lots of variations to marching, that's for sure. We're going to go for about another 30 seconds here. Very good. All right, now that our abs are all warmed up, what you're going to do is bring both knees up to that 90-90, we call it tabletop position. Abs are nice and tight, back is flat, belly button's pulled down and in. Now what you'll do is just go back and forth with the ball like you were earlier, back towards the head and up again. And you'll just continue that. Let's do 10 of these. This is 2. So again, as you go back towards the head with the ball, you should feel your abdominals tighten a little bit extra. This is 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 1 more. 10. Now Brett's going to lower down slowly one leg and then the other, and relax. Give your abdominals a little break. A few seconds here, and then we're going to repeat that and do another set of 10. All right, so let's go ahead and bring both legs up again to 90-90. Abs are nice and tight, and then back with the ball. Perfect. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this pillow works just fine, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The heavier ball, if someone does have a medicine ball at home, the heavier the ball, the harder your abs will work. But we just use a light ball here and it works just fine. I lost count, Brett. 8.
9.
Perfect.
10.
All right, and slowly lower one leg down. and then the other. Good, and then relax. We're going to be doing quite a bit of ab stuff today, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. So again, we're going to kind of warm up the abs a little bit and progress this exercise. So we'll start with it a little bit easier. So what Brett's going to do is actually extend both legs straight up towards the ceiling. So abs are nice and tight. Both legs go straight up. Knees are straight. Now, if your hamstrings are tight like Brett's are here, you can see he wants to bend his knees a little bit. That's okay. He can bend his knees a little bit, okay, as long as his abs are tight. So what he's going to do is extend one leg straight down towards the table and back up, and then switch and alternate. He'll extend one leg down. So we've done these before with bent knees, but today we're trying to do it with straight knees, if your knees can get straight.
How does this look, Christina?
That looks good, Allison.
Whoa, that really takes a lot.
Yes, this one's hard. So the farther down the leg goes towards the floor, the harder it will be. So if you need to, don't go down quite as far with the one leg as it kicks out, because the further down it goes, the harder your abdominals are working, and the harder your back extensors are working too.
Oh.
So just kind of be aware of that. You can see Brett's knees are wanting to bend more and more.
Oh.
He needs to stretch his hamstrings out. Good. Let's go ahead and take a break. Lower one leg down slowly, and then the other, and relax the abdominals. That was really good. We're going to try that one again. So just kind of adjust it based on your tolerance and how far down you can lower the legs. All right, are you up for it, Brett?
Yeah, I probably can't start my legs, but sure.
All right, let's try again. So legs are straight up, as straight goes.
Nope.
Okay, and then slowly lower one leg down. Good, and back up. And we'll alternate. Good.
Oh.
3 more.
Oh.
Very good. Okay, slowly lower one leg down and then the other. Take a little break. Good job, Brett. I know that one's tough. All right. So for the next one, what we're going to do is extend both legs straight up, just like we did. Now this one's really important to stay small movements and to stay slow and controlled, because we can stress the back in this position. So you want to be really careful and kind of listen to your body and what it's telling you. So you want your back to be flat the whole time. If you feel like in this exercise your back is starting to arch off the table, then you're probably doing a little too much and need to scale it back a little bit. So let me explain what I mean. Brett's going to extend both legs up, just like this. Again, his hamstrings are tight, so they don't quite get all the way straight. That's okay. And what he's going to do is lower both legs down towards the table, only as far as he can without extending at his back, okay? And then he'll bring both legs back up. So this is a really slow and controlled movement. Now, if you can only lower the legs, both of them, there we go, like 2 inches towards the floor and back up, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just don't want your back to arch. It should be nice and flat, and it should be comfortable. You shouldn't have any pain in the back at all, okay? So let's try it. So go ahead and extend both legs up. All right, Brett's gonna lower down as far as he feels like he can without the back arching, and then he's gonna raise the legs back up. So he's able to go pretty far down, but when he returns, his abs start to really shake, and it's hard for him to get back up there. And so he's gonna have to strain a little bit to get his legs back up. So it probably means he needs to not go as far out, okay? All right, so let's try that again. Legs straight up. All right, you'll extend them down and back up.
Oh, yeah.
Hard, right?
Yep.
Extend them down and back up. So that's what I mean by you may only be able to go a couple inches, okay? And if you need to bend the knees a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah, I can only go a couple of inches.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine because this one's really tough. and back in.
Oh.
Mhm. Good. Nice, slow, and controlled. Let's do 3 more. 1. Good. 2. Last one. 3. Good. Slowly lower one leg down, and then the other, and then relax. So if you go too fast with this exercise, it becomes almost like a reverse crunch where your hips are lifting off the floor and you're really trying to hoist your legs back towards you. And we don't want that. We want the back totally flat and the hips flat on the floor the whole time. They're not moving at all. Just the legs are moving a few inches at a time, back, down, and up. Okay? We'll give you a few second break. I know this one's tough, but we're gonna try it again.
Oh, we're gonna do it again?
Little abs.
Yep, we're gonna do about 5 more of these, 5
Okay.
more repetitions.
Okay, will you look and see?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Brett, when you're ready. That looks great, Allison. A little bit slower. You want it really slow and controlled. Perfect. And this looks simple, but it really works the abs hard. Good.
Whoa.
Slowly lower one leg down and then the other. Very good. That was great. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next one here. Let's go ahead and do crunches. So we did these last week, right? We did them on a Swiss ball. Yeah, but we're gonna do them today just lying flat on the floor. You ready? Okay, so you're gonna.
I can't lift my neck up though, so.
Yes,
just
so
have to modify.
yeah, that's fine. Be very careful if you've got neck issues going on. You don't want to pull on the neck at all. So Brett's gonna have his hands behind his head, but if you need to adjust that, you can. You can have your hands straight down by your side. Go ahead and show them what that would look like. Just straight down by your side. That works perfectly fine as well. Whatever keeps you from pulling forward on the neck, the better. We don't want that. But Brett's gonna go ahead and put them behind his head. Okay, so before he crunches or moves at all, he's gonna get that nice abdominal brace like we've been working on. So go ahead and get that brace nice and tight. And then what he's gonna do is actually bring his elbows together. And he's gonna think about punching the ceiling with his elbows, okay? So he's going straight up towards the ceiling with his elbows. He's not coming forward towards his knees. He's gonna think about going straight up towards the ceiling and back.
I would need to support because, you know, I have a fusion, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So just go like up like this.
Yes, and it's just a very small movement. It's only about 2 inches off the table. He goes from his shoulder blades, maybe less than that. So it's really
And my
small.
elbows are facing up, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, and he's using only his core. So he's not using his neck muscles at all to come up this direction, like with the neck towards the ceiling. He's only using his abdominals. So it's a really small, tiny crunch, but it works the abs really well. So if you need to, let's try a few reps with your arms by your side, just so I can show everyone what that would look like. Yep. So he's actually gonna tuck his chin a little bit more. There you go. And then lift up that way.
Weird.
I know. So what we want to avoid is the neck kind of jutting out forward as you do a crunch, because that's gonna work a lot of neck muscles. And he really just wants to work his abdominals, not his neck. So he's gonna keep the chin kind of in towards his body.
You know, these, I just get scared with my neck.
That's perfectly fine. If you don't want to do them, you can just practice doing the abdominal bracing as well. Yeah.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so how is this with the chin tuck, Christina? So I'm tucking my chin. And
Yeah.
then just,
And just lifting up slightly. And you want to think about lifting from the abdominals, not lifting from the neck. So the abdominals are really tight and you're just crunching the abdominals together, but don't think about coming up with the neck so much. That's why it's only a small movement. When people do sit-ups, they use a lot of their neck and a lot of their hip to get all the way up into a sit-up position. So a crunch is a really small movement, but it's because we're only using the abdominals. So if Brett were to relax his neck, can you relax your neck? And can you crunch up a little further, kind of protruding your neck out a little bit? Like a bad crunch?
Oh, like this?
Yeah. So if Brett's gonna use his neck, he's gonna really jut his chin out and he's gonna come up a lot further. And then he gets most of his motion here versus really getting a good contraction of the abdominals. So that's the difference. So Brett, let's try like 3 more of these with good form.
Okay.
With your arms behind your head. Yep, so he's gonna brace nice and tight with the abdominals. He's gonna crunch up, hinging from his hips, not from his neck. One more, can you do it? Very good.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can relax.
I think, Christina, I think with my arms like this, I think it works better. So, because I'm just coming up with my abdominals.
Yes, exactly. However you need to place the arms for the neck is fine, but you want to feel like you're just coming up with the abdominals, hinging from the hips, not coming up with the neck. Very good. Okay, these are tough today. Okay, we're going to move into a bicycle next, okay? Kind of similar to the marching that we've done before, but a little quicker. So in this position, Brett's going to get that nice strong contraction. Okay, he's going to bring both knees up to 90 degrees and hold it there. So this is our starting position, right? And what he's going to do, we're not going to use the arms for the bicycle, so they'll stay by your side. He's going to extend one leg out as far as he can. Now again, the lower he is towards the floor, the harder it is. So he's going to extend one leg out, come back in, and switch legs. But he's going to alternate back and forth like a bicycle. So it's going to be one smooth motion. As one leg comes in, the next leg goes out. Very good. That looks nice. We're going to go for about 20 seconds here. Five more seconds. Very good. Let's take a break. So slowly lower one leg down and then the other and relax the abdominals. That was really good. Your hamstrings are very tight. All right, you ready for our second set?
Absolutely.
Okay, when you're ready, bring both knees up again to 90. I'm going to time you for 30 seconds. Go ahead and bicycle just like before. Good.
Does this look correct?
That looks great. So you should really be feeling those abs right now. You've got 10 seconds. Good, and slowly lower one leg down to the floor and then the other and take a long break. That was really good.
Christina?
Yeah.
With all these ab exercises, they're all helping my core. I just don't need to do the crunches, right? I can just not do them at all.
No,
Nope.
Yep, you don't have to do the crunches. We've gone through so many different types of abdominal exercises that are all really challenging. So the crunch is a little bit different than a lot of what we're doing here. So we're working more of the deep abdominal muscles with all of the exercises like the marching and bringing the legs up to 90-90 and all of those things. Planking even is working those deep abdominal muscles. The crunch is working a little more of the rectus abdominis, which goes all the way straight down the abs, so it's kind of like your six-pack muscle. And so they're a little bit two different muscles that we're working. Not to say that one is totally inactive with the other exercises, it's not. But a little bit different emphasis with the crunch, but no, absolutely not. I mean, you can get a great ab workout without doing the crunches, definitely. Okay, we're gonna try this one again. 30 more seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so legs are up. Here we go. Very good. Halfway there. Five seconds. And go ahead and take a break. Slowly lower one leg and then the other. Very, very good. Okay, we've got a couple more exercises here. So this last one is planking. We haven't done it in a little while, so I wanted to review it. And again, if this is difficult on the neck or the back, that's perfectly fine. We'll show you two different variations here. So Brett,
Yeah, I'm better on my forearms.
yeah. So we'll go on forearms today. And Brett's gonna show you a modified plank here first. So his knees are down and his back is still flat. Go ahead and bring the knees a little bit closer to you, Brett. There you go. Just like that, it's perfect, yeah. You can just hold that position. Okay, so this is, I'll move out of the frame here. So this is a modified plank. Brett's on his knees and his forearms, but his back is nice and flat and his abdominals are tight. So this position is a little bit easier for someone who struggles with planking or has a lot of challenge with it. I'm just talking while I'm making Brett hold this position. So we'll do this one, and then I'll show you the more advanced version up on the toes. But if you want to stay with the modified version, that's perfectly fine. So for planking, I like to start with about 20 to 30 seconds and slowly work your way up in increments of 10 seconds until you get to a minute. Some people can do more like a minute and a half or even 2 minutes, which is really, really tough. But this is a great exercise for the abdominals. Now, also to note, if you find that your back is starting to arch, your hips are dropping towards the floor, or you're having any pain, you need to take a break. Your body's telling you it's fatigued. Go ahead and take a break there, Brett. So while you're taking a break, a couple different positions you can go into. So you can go into this extension like Brett is here, where he just lays flat on the table and he gets some extension in his spine. Some people really like this position. If you're not one of those people, you can also come into a child's pose position. So Brett's gonna come back onto his heels. And then can you lean forward? Kind of.
All the way down.
Yeah. You try.
How
There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so this is more of a child's pose position, and you can even stretch your arms all the way out straight. But that's an alternative way to stretch and give your back a little bit of a break in between planks. Brett doesn't like that one so much, that child's pose. Okay, so I'm gonna have Brett go into a full plank on his toes now, but if you need to stay in that modified plank, that's perfectly fine.
Still on those?
Can I use my forearms but go up on my toes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Brett be on his forearms today too. I'll move out of the frame so you can see him. So now he's up on his toes, his back is flat, so you don't want your hips dropping down towards the table. And you also don't want them hiking way up like a pyramid. Yeah, you want them kind of in line with your shoulders and your ankles.
Can you see this, Christina?
I can't really see, I can see part of it. I can see about half of it.
Okay. Okay.
Are you taking a break, Brett? I didn't say break. I'm just kidding. All right, let's try this one again. Okay, I can't see your feet, Allison, but your back looks nice and flat there. All right, Brett, you ready? I'm gonna time you. We're gonna go for 20 seconds here.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. There we go. All right.
My neck gets fatigued. So.
That's perfectly fine, yeah. And that'll happen. And a lot of times too, what people want to do in this plank position is kind of let their neck jut forward. Can you show them that back position with the neck? So yeah, so see how Brett's neck is kind of falling down towards the floor? A lot of people want to do that. So you have to keep a little bit of a chin tuck and kind of bring the forehead up off the floor a little bit so that your neck stays in line with the rest of your spine. And it's not falling forward this direction, which a lot of people like to do that.
That actually helps. The chin tuck helps keep it from fatiguing.
Okay, good. It should help a lot. So it's kind of hard to find a mirror in the house, but sometimes that's the best way to check your spine alignment and make sure your hips aren't too high or too low. Doing it with a mirror, but sometimes that's hard to find in a house. We have those big long mirrors here at the gym, but it's a little harder at home. So you can have someone take a picture for you in your plank position and see what that looks like too. Okay, last exercise is a squat. So we'll do it from a chair, but if you have anything nearby, like a couch, will work just fine. Actually, well, let's just do it from the table.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you can sit on the edge here.
Wait, I'll grab a chair. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, side baby.
Yeah.
Gotta get my. Good, right?
Yeah. We're adjusting the camera a little bit here. There we go. Okay. All right, so you can hold the back of the chair like Brett is doing. You can also put the chair behind you. Let's go ahead and put it behind you, actually. So this, putting it behind you helps with form as long as you have enough balance to do this. All right, so what Brett is going to do is he's going to squat down and let his bottom tap the chair, and then he's going to stand back up. So he's not sitting down in the chair. He's just using the chair as a guide for his form. So he's going to squat down, tap the chair, squeeze the glutes really tight on the way up. And as he comes into full extension right there, he should get a really nice glute squeeze because we want those glutes to work harder than our quads while we're doing squats. So a little bit slower on the way up. There we go. That's it. Very nice. Very good. Let's do about 5 more of these. Oh, I lost count, Brett. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break. That looked good. That was good, nice form. The chair helps a lot with those squats. So we're gonna do another set of about 10 of these, and then we'll be done for the day. So really remember to just focus on squeezing your glutes on the way up when you go into standing, so that your quads aren't doing all the work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 more.
Oh,
10. Very good. We made it.
Good job, Allison.
Very good. All right.
thank you.
You're welcome. That's all we have for today, and I hope to
Okay.
see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.